Morning, people. New month, new pad of much I-ness, because we're not allowed to call them iPads because the producer of iPads whacks me with copyright, even though it's spelled A-Y-E and no letter I. So it's pad of much I-ness. So good morning. Morning, all sorts. Morning, Regan Elite. Morning, Stephen Nicol. Morning, Mad Monk. Morning, Alistair. Morning, everybody else. It's here. I want to get Facebook above. Now, I've now got a grip of a couple of places where I can send money to the Western Isles. So Sandra, for the Isle of Lewis, I'll put this up because I can't pronounce the name of the food bank, was in touch with me on Saturday. And so there'll be £250 getting into that account today. And it looks like it'll be a voucher scheme on the Isle of Harris. The other £250 will go to, because I can't get a grip of another food bank up there. But a food voucher scheme, a bit like a food ladder, we've donated to kitchens, food voucher schemes, and food ladders before. So it'll be a food voucher scheme. But anyway, we'll put Sandra up there now. Where is it? Here we go. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it says donation to, I don't know how to pronounce that, EILEANSIAR, SARE. I think it's Alien Sare Food Bank. And I was talking to Sandra there, lovely lady. So Sandra, there'll be money in your account this afternoon, and we're more than glad to be able to help the people of the Isle of Lewis and the Isle of Harris. So there you go, folks. That's where your money's going this week. Right. So let's take that down. And a couple of quick mentions. Happy birthday to my cousin Maggie. Sorry I forgot the day, Maggie. I hope you and the family are well. And to my sister, who's going to donate money to a homeless charity rather than sending out Christmas cards this year. That's a damn fine idea, folks. Don't send out Christmas cards. Give the money to charity and send out memes on your social media. Okay. Now you better get Facebook on board here. I forgot what I was doing. We're halfway through the bloody show. We seem to be having some problems this morning. Okay. There we go. Found it. Okay. That's Facebook on, Bob. So we can go on with the nonsense in the press today, folks. And be very aware. This is a rant alert, because there will be a rant. There'll be quite a few of them, actually. Well, actually, there'll be one continuous one. Right, let's get the new pad up. As I said, new month, new pad. Indy Two Davies in the 2nd of the 12th, 2024. And it is not a bad morning, clearing up. 6 degrees. Quite warm for the time of year. Anyway, let's start with the Scotsman, will we? Well, as we call it here in Scotland, the Hootsman, but hey-ho. And it goes with Swinney to put NHS top of budget priority list. For the 14 years that the SNP have been in government, or 15 years now, or 17 years, whatever it is, the NHS has always been the top priority. The top priority has always been health and the well-being of the people. That's why we have such a great social contract. And that's why your NHS is doing relatively well compared to the other NHSs here in the UK. There isn't that many comparable health systems we can base our comparisons to across the world. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. There isn't that many healthcare systems like ours which we can compare to. But education, a charity also in the headlines in the Scotsman, and they say they're cutting staff because of funding shortfalls. Everybody's cutting staff. Everybody, and we'll get a wee bit more of that when we get down to the Times, I think it is, either the Times or the Telegraph, which is quite funny. Hi Elizabeth, how are things? Oh, you're back in Gran Canaria, are you? Lady with means travels. Yeah, I hope you enjoy yourself in Gran Canaria. Right, let's move on. What we got? Oh, also in the Scotsman, energy giants to extend life of nuclear plants. So 4 nuclear plants, which should be decommissioned UK-wide, are going to have their life extended again, including Torness over in East Lothian. And as we know, that thing's got a reactor housing full of fucking cracks. It really needs to be shut down before they blow East Lothian off the face of the fucking earth. Right, let's move on. The Times has Russian airstrike hits Syria as Assad vows to crush rebellion. It also has Swinney's NHS top priority in Scottish budget. And apparently, women in their 50s exercise more than women in their 20s. Well, let's put it this way, people half the age of a 50-year-old lady generally have something called sexercise to keep them fit. You get 50, that becomes a wee bit rarer. So you have to get out your pumps and go for a wander. All right, the Herald goes on. Greens spell out demands for backing SNP budget. Party warns action needed on climate and independence. And apparently there's going to be another Glasgow by-election after a fuck up on the paperwork delegitimises sitting Labour councillor. Right, now on the Greens and their backing for the Scottish budget. It's very hard to believe that the Greens are actually putting independence front and centre when the fucking SNP ain't. But the Greens are no daft. If people are no voting SNP, they're going to vote for somebody. And if they're pro-independence and the SNP don't have independence in their manifesto, then the Greens are hoping that they'll switch allegiance to the Greens. And people probably will. So, John, you better listen to Patrick and Lorna. Because if no, we'll all be voting for Patrick and fucking Lorna. Right, the Herald goes on. Greg on his face. Backlashes TV wars blames women of certain age for scandal. You know what? This shit's nuts. This so-called scandal. This is all diversion, folks. I don't know if you've noticed, but since the arrest warrants were issued for Netanyahu and Gallant, all of a sudden everything's in the fucking news except for Israel and their massacre of the people of Gaza, their genocide, and their ongoing shenanigans in Lebanon. But everything, every wee bit of shit will be thrown in front of us to take our minds off the genocide in Gaza now. And what's interesting about this is, apparently this guy told some women some risky jokes 15 to 20 years ago, and that's a fucking scandal. 15 to 20 years ago, we were all telling fucking risky jokes. Wow. The Sun has shut your cake hole, Greg. Same star. That's a video triad, a triad apparently. And furious celebs are hitting back at him. Well, for pointing out the fucking obvious. That 20 years ago he told some tawdry jokes, and all of a sudden it's a bloody scandal 20 years later, or 15 years later, whatever it is. Wow. If that's the case, we better all go back 20 years through our fucking Facebook posts and start deleting stuff, eh? This stuff is nonsense. Tell you the better rant, didn't I? Well, this is your fucking rant. Apparently some TV celeb 15 to 20 years ago told some sexy fucking jokes. And do it's a scandal. What? You think 20 years ago sexy jokes were a scandal? Try 30 years ago when it was fucking racist jokes. Wow. The Phil has why many women are happy with sexless marriages. And the main headline, as MasterChef star faces furious backlash for blaming women of certain women for he blames furor on women of middle class and a certain age. So apparently if you're middle class and a certain age, it's your fault that you don't like his sexy jokes from 20 years ago. Right, so the main headline in the Daily Field this morning, the reason why I'm not putting any of these up is because it's all nonsense about this MasterChef guy, whoever the hell he is, a food critic. That's what it is. Anyway, apparently the BBC were told 20 years ago, whatever it was, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that this guy was telling dirty jokes. Well, guess what? 20 years ago, you get a comedian on the BBC 2 on a Saturday night, telling his dirty, bloody jokes. And back in the 70s, the BBC, 60s and 70s, the BBC were one of the worst culprits, there were only 3 channels back then, for putting out fucking racist programmes. If I remember right, Jim Davison made his name on the BBC with his Chalky the Cop. Called Chalky because he was a black man. Mental. Yeah. Everybody told body jokes by then. Why is this fucking shite in our newspapers? We've got children going hungry, children dying, and that's just here in the UK. Granny freezing to fucking death, economy in meltdown. We've got wars on every continent right across the fucking planet. And what do we get? We're headlines. Some TV fucking food critic told some bloody off-colour jokes 20 fucking years ago. Wow! The world's gone fucking mad! And people think I'm a nut job. Children going hungry here in the UK. Granny freezing to death. Economic meltdown. Wars in every fucking continent across the planet. And what's our newspapers for? I'm ready for crime here, folks. Our newspapers have got TV food critic told sexy jokes. Backlash. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, I don't know if I'm up to this. Fucking hurry up the 20th of December to take a break. Oh, I can't take much more of this, folks. Fucking top of my cranium's about to go into orbit. My head's about to explode. Fucking told dirty jokes. The world's falling to bits. Trade wars coming. For fuck's sake. Is it just me? Is it just me? What the fuck do other people think when they're picking up the news this morning? Everything that's going on. And we're talking about, as Rod Stewart would put it, some tubby, baldy TV critic. And I have to say, Rod's not very classy, is he? Oh, for fuck's sake. Excuse me, folks, I'll need to take a wee sip of coffee. Try and calm down. And you're absolutely right. Distraction. Lorraine, you're on a naughty step. Watch you don't burn your arse in a candle. I can't believe it, man. Even the serious rags. The Telegraph, I'm going to put a Telegraph up actually. I think that's the one I'm looking for. Let's have a look. Where are you, Telegraph? I know I've got it there somewhere. No, I've not got it. Anyway, the Telegraph has Wallace middle class women of certain age cause row. But the headline that's of interest in the Telegraph today, folks, is that Starmer to sideline flagship pledge to boost economic growth. Of course he has. Apart from going back on any pledge the man's ever fucking made, it would appear that reality's just hit Starmer and Rachel Reeves in the fucking head. After all, their budget has just caused an economic fucking meltdown and contraction in the economy like we haven't seen since a banking crash or Liz Truss's mini budget. And people are losing their jobs left, right, and centre. Right here in the area where I am right now, we've got Volvo, heavy plant, just down the road laying off. We've got Honeywell's laying off. And we've got Alexander Dennis and Falkirk laying off. But that's just the start of the story. The £25 billion whack on employers in the middle of an economic fucking crisis. It's just made that economic crisis worse. Bank of England warning that interest rates will stay higher for longer. Inflation's on its way up. Again. That's what happens when people vote for economic illiterates. And it was sure queer as fuck when Starmer and Reeves were speaking that it was going to be austerity 3.0 and it was going to be austerity in stilts and that there was going to be an economic downturn. They're doing it quite deliberately, actually. As I keep saying, I'm trying to work out why they're fucking doing it. Why are they bringing this economy to its knees? Why are they killing off growth? Why are they doing it? I've asked a few fucking economists as well. And they're as fucking baffled as I am. Absolutely baffled. I have absolutely no reason. I have no reason or understanding of why they're doing this. But since the Tories came to power 14 years ago, and now being continued under Labour, and even before that with Labour, they were quietly chipping away and chipping away and chipping away at the strengths in this economy. They knew the economy's tits up. And they were obviously betting against the UK economy, and still are apparently. So Granny will freeze, children will go hungry, and we'll get nonsense in the press about TV fucking chefs, or TV food critics. And you know, small businesses won't survive in the projected economic climate. You're right. Okay, so Starmer to sideline his pledge to boost economic growth. That doesn't surprise us, because there's absolutely no fucking way of boosting this economy. The only way to boost the economy is to grow outside your own economy. And we ain't got anybody to trade with outside this fucking broken internal market, as they call it. No one. The International has what the world of noir teaches us, and that is international community has utterly failed. And the national's right. The international community has utterly failed. The international order is in meltdown. We've got the BRICS bypassing the dollar, which is going to see America's economy fucking crash. We've got China banning American imports because of up-and-coming trade war with Trump. And, as I say, the International Monetary Fund shiting itself. The international monetary system is shiting itself. As the BRICS set up a new payment system to bypass having to trade in the dollar. Could well be a war coming, folks. Right, is the Stargate entity pleases this morning, entity cheer us up, let's have a look. Or is Davey just about to get into fucking total meltdown? It would appear that Davey's about to go into total fucking meltdown. Cut out and keep crisis management advice for anybody called Craig. When you're in a really, really, really deep hole. Stop digging. MasterChef star says accusers are just a handful of middle class women of a certain age. Guess what, Greg? Whatever your fucking name is, Wallace. They weren't the middle class women when you tell them the fucking. They weren't the middle aged middle class women when you tell them the fucking jokes, apparently. They didn't like it back then either. But saying that, dodgy jokes and risky jokes is the sort of thing you tell among friends. It's not the sort of thing you tell to strangers for their amusement. But hey, oh, so not even the star can cheer me up a day. This is only fucking Monday. Only Monday. And that's the nonsense in the press. Well, to cheer myself up today, folks, when I hang this up and schedule tomorrow morning's news headline review, I'll not nip off down the bank and send some money to some needy people. And that's supposed to cheer me up to after reading the fucking headlines. I guess I can always grab a decent coffee along the way. Nah, no bother, I'll put the £3 to the food banks up. Ah, fuck's sake. Thanks for joining me this morning, folks. Look after yourselves. David and I will be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon to go into some of the actual stories that are out there in a wee bit more depth. So, first week of December, last month of this fucking nightmare of a year. Yeah, well, you couldn't make it up. Eyes on the prize, folks. We'll see you this afternoon, 4 p.m. Don't be late. You'll be on the fucking naughty step. And you already know I'm on a fucking rager. Bye for now.